Hello everybody, it's your old friends of Monday Madness and welcome to Paul of Cthulhu.
Hello.
That was Paul of Cthulhu. So, Paul, we have reached the end of what is hopefully going to be a very quick journey for us through the Cthulhu Mythos series.
I mean, quick for us could mean anything from a single afternoon to literally 6 months.
Well, to be fair, it has been a while since we recorded, now that you mention it. But this is the fourth game in the series that we've been playing after Dark Corners of the Earth while we decide on what to do
There's
next.
clearly a 6 there.
Yes.
Okay, is this one of those game series that can't count?
How do you mean?
I don't know how many Resident Evil movies there are.
Oh,
but
right.
It's not,
This,
what the number,
yeah,
it's not what the number would imply, and the same thing especially goes for the Final Fantasy series.
No, there is a reason for the naming convention here, right? I was actually going to the...
Oh yes, it's the number of, I guess, days?
The days in the game, yes. So
Actually, fair.
5 Days a Stranger, right, was the first game in the series, obviously done over 5 days. Now, that was set in 1993, as we'll find out from the intro. The sequel to that was 7 Days Skeptic, which is set in space. I think it was the year was 2183 or something crazy like that.
Here's the thing. Some of those days, very long, involved a lot of stuff.
Yes.
One of those days was a single scene that was over and done within 10 minutes.
Indeed. That's what you call writing. Or pacing, actually. It's just like, oh, it was really quiet. Now suddenly things are happening. I think Stephen King does that a lot, though. Like suddenly, like, oh, something crazy happens, and then it's the next morning.
Fair.
Yeah. So, the reason I mentioned those two, because those two games did have the one thread between them, beside all the completely different characters, because, 300 years in the future. But the one thread behind them was John Defoe, and the idol and the spirit, the wraith, all this sort of stuff. But that was just the bones of the issue, because Trilby's Notes put the meat on it by talking about Kabadath and the Chizo and the Pain Elemental and all the history. So it wasn't just an idol. There was like evil spirit upon evil spirit upon evil spirit, all just like crystallized into an idol. The idol was a wooden crate, then it was a harpsichord, then it was an inn, and then it was a tree. And the reason the tree is the way it is because it's a lich. The lich is being the monk Kabadath, who tried to summon Chizo into our world, which in the lore is called the world of technology, and Chizo didn't quite like that. Took Kabadath with him and put him in a tree, basically, to suffer for
I thought
forever
that's
and
one of
ever.
the other druids just said, nah, don't do this, it's dumb.
He did actually say that,
And interrupted the ritual.
Indeed, and he got away. Kabadath did not. Kabadath suffers for his sins since.
Okay, here's the thing. You found the dimension of pain and suffering, and you did anything other than close the door and say nope.
Yes. Because I think at the time, Romans were invading, so Kabadath thought it'd be a great idea. I know, we'll just summon a demon. Let's summon a demon to get rid of the Romans. That did not work, as we found out.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. So a few of the wrinkles developed from that Trilby's Notes game. It told us about there is a cult that is dedicated to Jizo called the Order of Blessed Agonies.
Oh god, this cult.
Yes, so they've written all the lore, and Freehorn was its original leader, and he saw into the future and said what was going to happen, all this sort of stuff. So everything in terms of the text for this game, everything that's come to pass was predicted in the writings.
I mean, if you watch the episodes on that, we got a scene of what happened.
Yes, and then the text to go with it.
The cult's writings.
Yes, from an agent of the cult, I should add.
Here's the thing, though. If you look what happens in that scene and what the cult wrote about it, there is, to put it mildly, a hideous case of Chinese whispers.
Oh, most certainly Chinese whispers. Like, the guy's seeing visions, so he's like obviously just dreaming, just like, it's like someone like writing the dreams, essentially. But oddly like accurate in some places and then wide off in the next. He very much he did flower it up a bit, I'll be honest. He made it quite poetic in places, but not like to the extent of like...
He kind of really also hammed up his own importance and involvement in the
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He basically sold, I think he sold his lover off to Kabadath, so that he could essentially become their bard for all intents and purposes. That was all established in Trilby's Notes if you haven't watched that. If you were watching this in the playlist, that was literally half an hour ago, so fair enough, we won't bore you with the details. But the reason I say that is because this game, 6 Days of Sacrifice, is the midpoint, quite literally the midpoint, between 5 days a stranger and 7 days a skeptic. Hence why it's 6 days.
Hang on, isn't that the where's Trilby's notes coming into this?
Trilby's Notes is 3 years after 5 days. 5 days a stranger. So in the timeline you have 5 days, Trilby's Notes, 6 days of sacrifice, which is in 2074 or something like that, and then you have space.
Hang on. Didn't Trilby's notes end with him trying to figure out where can he possibly put this idol to get rid of it?
Yep,
and the answer was space.
The answer was space. So now I can see the little cogs turning in your head, Paul. What the fuck is this game about? Who could star in it? What could it be about? That's all in the same narrative, all in the same story arc.
Are we going to eat the model the island into space now?
No, well, we already done that, Paul. The beginning and end have been established, but why the midpoint? What's so important about that? Those are the answers. I'm going to point at you and say this. Those are the questions and answers we are going to solve here tonight. Did that establish everything for you? Are you back on par now? Are you back in the land of the living and the land of technology?
Honestly, not really. I'm a little confused because I thought we had a sequence of events that found the idol, decided it was bad, found out why, and decided let's send it to space.
Yes.
And in space we get to see it being in space and fucking people up.
Yes, and now we have this that will be ending the series and explain everything about why Chizo was trying to get here in the first place.
Wasn't the notes explicitly explain everything?
It explained the origin, it explained what was going on, but like I said, 6 days will wrap everything up.
So this is us smuggling it into a rocket to launch into space?
Well, it's in the midpoint between a 300-year-old story arc. So
okay, that's an elbow room right there.
yeah. So let's jump in and see what happens. No, we didn't want commentary. We're doing that ourselves. Thank you. Appreciate the idea though, Yahtzee. All the same.
I mean, we could try having talking to it as well.
Here we go. Yesterday I saw the body of the bridgekeeper engulfed in flame. I saw the bridge created by 1/3. Tomorrow I saw the soul of the bridgekeeper reduced to ash, and I saw the bridge created by 2/3. Today, the mind of the bridgekeeper shall meet with its destiny, and I shall see the bridge extend between the realms. And the many children of the king shall leap and dance and sing praise in his name, for great is his wisdom and his benevolence. The Book of the Bridge. What that's describing the 3 games in relation to each other. Yeah, 5 days, 7 days, and this. So as you can see here, this is coming back to the 5 days. So this is kind of working on like time isn't linear, basically. These are, if you like, these are all kind of happening in one moment, if you like.
Okay.
So like, abandon the idea like time is linear in this series. It's just things are happening in sequence.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. So this I learned at the start there was the link between 5 days and 7 days. So this is it here. Was John Defoe, the idol, the wraith, the whole shebang. So we're just getting a bit of a refresher here, basically. So the characters you're seeing there, by the way, are Jimmy and Simone Taylor, who dies at the start of Trilby's Notes.
Oh, this is the one that's being possessed.
Yes, this is the seance. And then there's the idol being blown up, basically. With a nice little stop-go comic animation. And of course, the spaceman there was Jonathan Somerset, who we find out wasn't actually Jonathan Somerset in the end. It was Malcolm.
Oh wow, dead set right in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah. 196 years later. And this is our main character.
That's closer to 400 years, but anyway.
Yes. So we have so this is kind of the same. Trilby's Notes had the kind of text interface. This is back to the point and click setup. So you'll have this guy here. Women's magazines. Reception desk, no one here. What do you make of our main character so far?
Here for a job interview, I assume?
We're going to find out. There you go, off screen maybe.
No? Alright.
No?
I guess read your notes. I mean, people in the future use paint and paper, right?
Yeah. You don't seem to... There. Yes, this is where we can save from as well. We have a phone.
Huh.
Good to know that.
Oh my god, progress.
Good to know that phones still exist in this grand age of what is it, 21, whatever it is?
Is that a note on the desk?
Could be, actually. Oh, it's a computer, see?
No, it's, just below that.
No, it's just there.
No.
That's a pamphlet. Here we are. It's in my journal. Life becoming a struggle. Need a guiding hand. Want to be part of the world's fastest growing family. Ophthalmology is a religion catered for you. Taking the best parts of all previous religions to make a great new way of thinking. Join ophthalmology today.
For fuck's sake.
We have Mr. Garriott. I don't know why, but I feel like he speaks like Captain Picard. Get out of my way, you fool. Dacabe. Oh, he's a council worker. He must be doing a risk assessment or something.
And the cultists just called him a fool.
Yes. So they're trying to plan a mission to expand their little religion center. And this guy is basically just a desk jockey. Hence
so
why
he's
he has
clearly a spy.
We'll see. All we know is his name is Dacabe.
Dacabe.
Dacabe. Dacabe. It's either Dacabe or Dacabe. I can't tell which one. Oh, we're gonna get a tour of the building.
Okay. The cultists just. I guess I'm not going for a hot dog anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely a cultist cloak, isn't it? Here we go. Elevator.
Okay. Well, we're not.
Yes. Now, how's that for
the facade is one room.
the Dacabe facade. There you go. July 24th, AD 2189.
You'd think they'd hey, that council we sent to the local cult hasn't gotten back to us in a while.
No. Now, who's this talking here? Oh, they have a doctor. That's good. Hey! We know him.
Huh.
Yes. Trilby. What are you doing here? Okay, so you have a broken neck apparently. Fucking hell.
Well, bad start.
So we're in absolute agony.
And there's a fucked up door.
Yes. Oh, here we go. We have our doctor here. Theo Dacabe. Or Dacabe. I'm gonna go with Dacabe.
Now, here's the thing. She should have introduced herself as doctor or whatever.
Yes.
And didn't.
Did you notice that it was Dr. Harty? We had
No.
a Harty in the 5 Days a Stranger House as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I was wondering, where's the doctor part of the doctor's title?
Good question. Maybe she's not really a doctor. She might have the white coat, but doesn't necessarily make you a doctor, as I know myself. I'm just more intrigued why Truby's here, because it's 2189. He's well dead by now.
Listen, he's part of basically investigate supernatural shenanigans.
So you think maybe he's
a vampire.
Okay, fair. That's good. That's a good policy. In that case,
it's like, hey, I found this thing to be immortal. How am I going to hand it to my superiors? Nah.
Just nums and live forever. Fantastic.
Cool.
So let's talk to Samantha, shall we? If we can. So, now the word employer. Interesting.
I'm sorry, but mime's cutting through her throat?
Yeah. She pointed at me and then, you're meant to be dead, or presumably, something like that. So, we seem to be able to get her to do things for us, but that's not really... Let's have a look around first. Medical cots spotted with very familiar looking blood. So they've had people in here before.
Huh.
We have burnt paper. Official memo, bottom half has been burnt off. As you can see, the bin there looks like ashes, I think. Yeah. We have a desk. There's the chief medical officer. Okay. The guard. Tall athletic man, physically in his early 30s, wearing absurdly old-fashioned clothes.
Vampire.
It's a shame. You try so hard for them, and then you end up just fucking going immortal on you. It's like Blade all over again, you know? Not what a movie. So, okay, so Paul, have you any... Let's look at that door, actually.
Well, let's look at the bin that's to our bottom left.
Yes, we'll do that. It seems that something is banging on the door from the other side.
Let
Interesting.
me out. I don't want to die in here.
Or let me in. Perhaps. Seems to be a touchscreen console of some kind.
I guess talk to the door. That seems to be demanding, exit.
It won't reply.
Goddamn.
Because it's a door, Paul. Point to the door in the north wall. She shrugs. So you have to get her to do something anyway. So we've got a guard. Shakes her head, indicating she doesn't think she can reason with or defeat the man. Console? What does that do? Password. Right, so we need a password for the console.
Okay.